Hello, everybody. I'm Roadblock. We are on the free-to-play account, and so I didn't record yesterday. That was mostly because I felt like I didn't really have enough substantial material for an episode. Nothing had really changed on this account, or even my other account for that matter. It was just kind of the usual. Oh, I'm grinding this dungeon and hope getting trying to get some new upgrades and such. So because I didn't have that much substantial, and because recording on Mondays is kind of hard, I chose just not to record. But I'm also very excited about today's episode because we get to do some stuff on the account. Now, as far as the power level of the account, nothing is really changing. I do want to say I did get a comment in my Discord that I really appreciated, where somebody reconsidered their spider team because they saw that I was able to find success with a what I will call a non-traditional team. And what I mean by that is traditionally you're using some kind of like turn meter manipulation or HP burn kind of composition mix type of thing. I know that's not very specific, but for me, my traditional spider teams used Cold Heart, of course. So you're getting that huge HP percent chunking down as well as the turn meter manipulation. You combine it with something like an Armiger or other turn meter champions, and you can basically lock down the queen and then just find a way to handle the little guys, right? So this team just kills everything, and it works. And that inspired them to kind of adjust their team, and that's what makes accounts like this and channels like this so valuable, because you can come up with different approaches. I wouldn't have even tried that approach, to be completely honest with you. I would have looked at that and said, well, that's not going to kill Spider 20. I need something stronger. I need turn meter manipulation. I need HP percent max damage, right? Enemy max HP damage is the word that I'm looking for. I combined two different things there. Enemy max HP damage, right? That's the only way I can kill the spider. So those are thoughts that I legitimately would have had going into Spider, and I did have. That's why it took me so long to finally do Spider 20. And then I just decided, well, let's see how this works. It's my best possible team, and our best possible general team, and it just happened to work against the spider team. And it's a slower run at 2 minutes, but I'm not gonna complain about something that so far has been 100%. I have not seen, to my knowledge, I haven't seen it fail, uh, except for last night. I think during technical maintenance, uh, it my it basically caused my RSL helper to stop running automatically, but I was running all three accounts on Spider last night. So uh, it goes very slow because it's only using energy as it repopulates. So probably one run every what half hour or more. So I'm not expecting any crazy points here. I'm also not targeting anything in here. This is me just trying to find a place to use my energy while I'm not actively playing, right? And you know, you, if I did it through multi battles, then it would stop after the energy was gone. By using RSL Helper, as my energy repopulates, I get some extra runs and stuff. So that's been pretty good, and across all of my accounts, I've managed to get some extra gear and resources from that. My accessories are on point, and a big part of that is running Spider quite often, as well as increasing my silver. That's a big part of Spider as well. So for those of you that don't know, Spider is actually the best place to farm silver. Give me what's. Are you okay? Cora, are you okay? Okay. Just make my daughter was coughing. I was making sure she wasn't choking. So, yeah. So Spider is a great way to farm silver. Accessories do sell for a lot. So for those that you get and don't want or don't use, you can sell them and get some money back. So, but also, well, I've never confirmed or researched, but to be honest, it's just one of those things that you always hear content creators say. Spider is the best place to farm silver. The other thing I love about Spider is it gives a ton of points in Clan v Clan, which is where I spend all of my energy during Clan v Clan is in Spider, which is why I had one of my clan members say they were envious of my accessories on the account because I've acquired so many of them and most of them are pretty good because I'm farming Spider hard. So anyways, enough about the other accounts. Let's talk about the free to play. So, no new updates. I haven't six-starred anybody new. To be honest, I don't really have an idea of who's next. I'm definitely leaning in the direction of Herndig now because he kind of checks off a lot of boxes that I previously hadn't considered. I love this fully depleting the turn meter and then also applying an HP burn and a weaken. It is situational, so I don't think that it's going to land every time, but if I build him right, meaning the right speeds, then I do have the potential to decrease the turn meter of Spider and place HP burns on everybody, which would be pretty valuable. He also is another AoE decreased defense champion outside of my other one, which is Deacon, of course, right? So I do like having options when it comes to decreased defense champions. We've got different affinities here, spirit versus magic, which is good to consider. We also have the added bonus of decreased accuracy, which can come in handy on certain fights. And then, of course, we've got different turn meter manipulation mechanics as well. So I'm kind of leaning in that direction. We've built the ally protectors, and now we just need to kind of build the team around that. The other option, of course, is Kreela. One thing I really like about Kreela, and I hadn't given this much thought before, obviously she is an ally attacker, but she also brings increased attack, which with Ursula rotating out of the clan boss would be nice to bring back in. So there is that possibility, but she's also just flat out good because she's an ally attacker, and ally attackers are there it is. Yep, allies joining it. Yeah. So now she only teams up with 3 random allies, which is not as good as some other ally attackers, but still a great option for sure. We also have Syl. We don't have a proper support on the account. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. We don't have a proper healer on the account. We have a proper support, right? We have several of those. We've got Ultimate Death Knight's a good support. We've got Ursula. We've got Deacon. Both of the ally protectors you could consider supports. But how do I keep people's HP levels up? Well, Syl could really be the option for that using her passive where she heals all allies by 10% of their max HP. Now, I'm not a huge fan of it because I don't like heals that use their max HP. I wanted to use the healer's max HP because I could build that healer with more HP, but Syl is a great champion. Also, bringing a revive is good, but remember, we started this account very early on with one of the best AoE revivers in the game in Ursula, which does bring down Syl's value slightly. Ugo is another option that I've considered leveling, mostly because, again, decreased defense and block buffs, which is very, very good. In fact, I mean, on my main account, Ugo is in my top clan boss team, and I have found a very hard time replacing her. When I actually want to pull another Ugo on my main account, and believe me, I've probably fed quite a few Ugos in my time, and just recently I'm appreciating her power more than I was before because it feels like anyone else that does bring block buffs, I have to solve for the decreased defense. Like I have to bring a different champion to bring decreased defense. And I'm so accustomed to thinking with Ugo who does them both, right? Not to mention a mini cleanse, which is extremely valuable. With a situational heal as well. and a leech. The leech is less so, but the leech is still good, right? So that's kind of the direction that I'm leaning. I'm not necessarily saying that any other champions are out that I didn't mention. It's just they weren't ones that I've really put that much thought into right now. Ray is up there too. I didn't mention her. That was an oversight. Ray is a consideration for my second PvP nuker, but I really think that when it comes to PvP, this new free champion is going to be the one that that I go with. Didn't I say, was it on this series or my other series? Didn't I say that the next champion, the next I was talking about free to plays, not fusion. That's right. Or free legendaries rather is the word that I'm looking for. I'm theorizing that the next free legendary would be PvP, but instead it's a fusion. We will be going for the fusion on this account. Real quick, I'm going to go ahead and get my 15 points for the day. So what do I want to upgrade? Speed. I've been doing a lot of spiders, so why don't we look at some accessories here? Who's a champion that might need... Can I look at just new? There we go. Okay. That's annoying. Okay. Trying to think of the champions that I have and who would really benefit from... How much Rathalos gear do I have on Orc? Just curious. I haven't given that a lot of thought, but just the one. Okay. Because the Seer and Rathalos gear sounds really good. Granted, I would probably prefer maybe some ignore defense mechanics there too, but... Ooh. Well, that's an interesting piece for sure. Okay, I'm just thinking of who might... I could definitely use a better accessory banner. Doesn't look like we had any really drop. Yeah. Let's see. What about let's take a look at crit damage next for Dark Elves. Yeah, this is a great one right here. This one would definitely be strong on Ray. There we go. All right. Got that. Oh wait, I wanted to take that to 12. I forgot to get the points that I was looking for out of the event. I forgot that's what I was doing. Attack with bad substats. Okay, we'll take this to 12. This is a decent... I know this piece is going to be used for sure. And that will get me my fusion warm-up done. Get XP boost and some gems. Alright. Clan Boss hasn't been especially kind to me lately. I mean, we get some epic books, but no sacreds just yet. So I think that's everything I really need to talk about. I was kind of leaving this part for last, so we are going to pull pretty much every soulstone on the account. Now, we are in a boost right now, right? We're getting a boosted chance for souls. I think I take off Geomancer. And the reason I say that, I don't feel like Geomancer gains as much from souls as other champions would. Just because of his passive. and the way it works, I think I would rather go with Skull Crusher and Taragi, and then definitely Deacon, just because Deacon is in everything I do. As for rares, yeah, these are probably the... Well, you know what? I could probably go Soul Bond. I don't find myself using Frozen Banshee. Nothing against Frozen Banshee. It's just the way that my account has worked out and the direction that I went on the account. Frozen Banshee just didn't really make the cut yet. A big yet, right? There's always a chance that I can find a way to really get some value out of her. All right, so we're going to buy all the mortals. We'll pull those first and then save the immortals for last. If you're looking at my count, I have quite a few immortals to pull, and I'm pretty excited about that. This was because I think I saved on a previous one. So let's go ahead and knock out a bunch of these summons here. And, of course, we're going to get the spoilers for the points, which is, you know, I mentioned it on the other channel. I'm not a fan of. I like that Coffin Smasher one. I don't use him as much anymore, but for Faction Wars, that could be really good. Okay, we got a legendary soul here. A Mission Aki, one of my favorite champions in the game. Unfortunately, I don't have him. This Skullsworn one is going to get sold. It is kind of tempting, the Skullsworn one, because of how the mechanics work between Skullsworn and the legendary guy that I have that works with them. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Skull Lord Vargal. Hey, I remembered. I'm impressed. Ooh, 6-star Cagebound. Again, I'm only oohing that because I know I can sell it and get rewards. I'm not interested in that at all. So we'll collect those and then come into the soul collection, and basically anything that's not a Cold Heart is going to get sold there. I'm wondering if some of these 1-star... Well, we got a duplicate here, so that definitely gets sold. This, I don't think I would... It's really hard to say, you know, if some of these 1-star ones are worth keeping. Because I don't know that if I was to get those champions... You know, like, Araness, I don't know that she would get used. Genbo would definitely get used if I was just happened to pull a Genbo. So we can hold on to that one, but... and then we'll awaken Coffin Smashers to get it out of my inventory more than anything else. Also, I mean, having souls on champions is good for Centranos as well, just to get progression in those rooms where you need to have souls. All right, we're going to save the tournament results for last. So we'll come back in here and we're going to summon some more. So we'll summon 10 more here. The 62 points is not promising. I like that. I don't have him, but I like it. Is that my first? Does Kale not... Kale might not have... Yeah, I mean, I don't think Kale has a soul. Oh, my second Kale apparently doesn't. My main Kale, he does. He's got a 2-star soul. Okay. All right. I don't think there's anyone else in there that I want to awaken. So we'll sell the duplicate. I don't have a need for it. Sell all the others. Man, it's like... If I really start to run out of space, which, I mean, I still have quite a bit of room here. But if I ever get strapped for space, I'd probably just sell a lot of the 1-star ones. Because I just don't think that they would really, realistically ever make the cut. Well, sorry. I'll rephrase that. Realistically, I would just wait until I could buy the 1-star soul, you know? And sell for the resources in the short term. That's a good one. If I ever pull a Dracomorph, that is very, very good. Good points, too, I believe. I really don't know how the scoring on this works. Because, like, these are +2 points. I'm assuming because they're rares and not legendaries. I didn't see what the legendary scored points-wise. +1 point. Like, what does it have to be to only get me 1 point? A 1-star Painkeeper. Although, I do have, I think, 2 Painkeepers on the account, I think. Here we go. What do we got here? A Supreme Kale. Okay. I didn't see that. Man, I got to pay more attention. I didn't see the points. This one's 20 points. What's this going to be? An epic? A legendary. Okay, so now we kind of have an idea of the points. Mighty Uko. Man, I would love Mighty Uko. That's the one thing. That's what this does, right? It makes you want for other champions. I like the Neldor. I think I have Neldor on this account. I do. Now, Neldor isn't currently used. Probably won't be used in the short term, but long term, Fire Knight Hard, I think Neldor is amazing, and I'm very excited about that. And even just for faction wars and stuff, right? So, really, really, really happy about that soul for sure. We'll come into the collection and clear out any other. I'll keep the 1-star, I suppose. It's a champion I could use. I don't really know how the. Yeah, we'll get rid of this one, right? Because we got a 2 now. I don't really know how the. Painkeeper and the soul would work, but I mean, if I end up making an unkillable team with my Painkeepers, then getting their Phantom Touch up will be very, very good for getting the damage. One thing that, if you've never built an unkillable team before, one thing you'll find is when you first build it, it doesn't do a lot of damage, right? Because you're worried about the speeds and everything. But then as your gear gets better and everything like that, you can start to maneuver gear around, and you unlock blessings and do all these things that will get you more power out of your teams. So we're gonna grab the remaining immortals here, and a small pack apparently. And let's unlock some of these. Only 3 points from this thing. That's so upsetting. This is even more reason to just not show me the points, right? Okay, 135 points. Now we're talking. Hold on. I don't have her on this account. Okay. I was like, yeah, if I had her on this account, she probably would have been built. That's a pretty decent nuker. Fortunately, we don't have her, but it's a good soul. And we got a lot of points towards the tournament for it, so I'm not going to complain, right? I have to say, though, this is not looking good for the wish list, right? All of these souls that we've pulled, and we haven't gotten anything on the wish list except a 1-star Kale, which was someone that I already have a higher soul count on. Like, the wish list, even at 8 times, still feels as useless as ever. It really, really does. That is pretty disappointing, if I'm honest, just considering how much we just pulled. I'm actually going to consider pushing that, by the way. So, let me think of one that I might not use. So we need 80. Pretty much all of these are decent. If I remember, her kit was very disappointing, so I'm going to go with that. And that will get me to another one. And 12 points. Yeah, I was like, I'm going to get 4 points out of this thing. Even though I had to, like, get rid of so many. Oh, my God. Let's go. That is so good. That is so, so good. Absolutely amazing to get that for my Seer. super, super, super stoked for that. I'm curious. Does anybody know how I would not go it, but given the changes to blessings, does anyone know how Heaven Cast works in relation to her? Is it because does she remove the buffs before the damage increase happens? Because she removes her own buffs, right? I'm very curious about that. Ultimately, though, I think you go Crushing Rend. Um, the first hit will ignore a percentage of target's defense, 1% defense for every 40 levels. So, um, obviously, 6-star makes us so much better, but even here, it it's better if you can reset her because obviously, if she uses her A1, then she wastes that ignore. But still, really, really good pull. I'm gonna do a little bit more thinking on kind of what I want to do with my seer, but I think she's probably going to be in one of my PvP teams for Tag Team Arena. So that really helps her out quite a bit to ignore more defense and get more damage out of her ability. So I mean that's a good way to go out, isn't it? I don't think there was anything else in here that would really, I don't think I'm gonna get. Oh, interesting. I was really surprised to see so many points from that particular one. I mean, all of these are good legendaries. If I had a crappy legendary in here, I'd probably sell it. Um, and yeah, like this one isn't, worth enough. The Chinorio one isn't worth enough. So yeah, it's not enough to get me. I'm looking for 130 points here, right? So, I just don't think I have enough to pull one of the other big ones. But let's look at where we're at in the tournament, right? Not too bad. I actually thought we would be higher. I'm not gonna lie. It felt like we had some pretty big numbers popping up there, but when you pull those 8 point and 12 point ones, right? It's really really painful. So definitely falling a little bit short of what I had expected, if I'm honest. Just given the numbers I was seeing on the screen. And that's what's frustrating about this whole system, right? Like, let's say, you know what? Let's do it for science. Let's do it for science. Um, this is, look, I don't do this, okay? But the reality is, the chances that I pull a mythical champion are very small. The chances that of the mythical champions that are out there, the chances that I pull this particular one, well, it's greater relative to the chance of actually pulling one, but still a slim chance. So I think I'm okay getting rid of this because I don't think I ever get this particular champion. And I think, we'll do this for science. I'm going to do this because. Am I stupid? Was I? Oh, I was looking at the wrong friggin' value. Is it 5-star or higher? I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. Or is it 4-star or higher? It's 4-star or higher. Okay. I don't know why. All right. Either way. Oops. Either way, I still want to get this up. Who's current? I don't. Thank you. I'm going to cancel, and I'm going to come back. So I make sure that I'm not accidentally selecting somebody that I don't want. I want to be clear about this. This is what I'm deep in thought right now, which is why I'm so quiet. This is a good champion. I would love to have a soul for this champion. I'm gonna sell it. And it's more so because I want to show you guys what not to do. And it sounds crazy, right? But like on paper, this sounds like a great idea. The value that they put on these is very high, right? And I want to show you why you should not value them that highly, right? So I'm valuing this very high. I just sold some decent souls to get an Eternal Soulstone, right? The cream of the crop, the best that there can be. These things are expensive monetarily. They're always at the top of the rewards for tournaments and the like, right? So let's see if it's worth it. Let's see what it gets me. Crap, I'm about to eat my words. 300 points, huh? All right. I guess I'm eating my words a little bit. I don't have a Seeker, but that's really, really good. Also, I get to sell the Seeker one that I have, which is a 2-star. So if I ever pull a Seeker, I'm going to be looking pretty good. But either way, that is kind of the problem with the system a little bit. I did finally pull a really good soul for a champion I don't have. And I may never get. I have people in my clan who are like, man, all I need is a Seeker to finish my unkillable team, and they've been playing for a year and a half, still don't have them, right? I will say that was a fair trade-off to get a Void Shard, and we're going into so I keep saying like, okay, we should be getting a Void 2x. We should be getting a Void 2x. It's what I'm expecting us to kind of arrive at here pretty soon. However, I wouldn't be surprised, given the 5-year anniversary, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up getting 2x events on every shard. Not all at the same time, of course, or maybe all at the same time, but something like what we got over the holidays, where we had one day was sacreds, one day was voids, one day was ancients, and I think they even threw in a day that was primals as well. So I don't know that for sure. I'm not saying that they will do that. I'm just saying I would not be surprised if we end up seeing more than just a void 2x. Because even the in fact, maybe they wouldn't do sacreds because they already did the sacred 2x. So perhaps the void 2x would be this weekend or something along those lines. I'll be able to kind of calculate a little bit better once we get more schedule information. But during the fusion here, once we find out the schedule of the fusion, which as far as I could tell, it was not released. Because when it is, I hope to discuss it. So yeah, I don't have a button to click here. So the schedule isn't released yet, but when that schedule is released, I'm very excited to be able to dig into it and theorize a little bit more about what 2x events they might do, and so on and so forth. But I mean that wasn't bad. That was pretty decent rewards. I think previously in a video I may have said, like, I can't remember because I always forget in between them. Do I prefer the Soul Chase tournaments or the Soul Rush events? It's really hard to say. The great thing about the Soul Rush events is you can calculate how many points you're going to get. The Soul Chases, you can't. It's just luck of the draw, whether you get good pulls or not. But I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. So far, I'm in 5th place. I say so far because there is a chance that I could pull more. And potentially get some more rewards. A brew would be very, very handy right now. So I'm not going to complain about where I'm at in the tournament at all. There is the chance after doing a couple more over the next 2 days, doing a couple more Iron Twins, that I could get more points and participate more in this event. So as far as eating my words and everything, I mean, this is a really, really good soul on a very, very good epic, especially an epic that is so important to an unkillable team. Now, just imagine for a second that you pull something like Seeker, or sorry, you pull a Seeker, and you pull the rest of the pieces for an unkillable team. And I'm just gonna go in here, for example, just to look at blessings. You could put Seeker in something like Cruelty, where you're getting 20% damage. You're gonna get 20% damage reduction, right, on bosses, or even just Phantom Touch, where you're getting 100% chance to hit, not to mention all the extra speed and everything. And the extra damage, like depending on what you needed, I would probably go for the 20% damage reduction myself. But yeah, Seeker, amazing, amazing champion for many different areas of the game. So really, really glad that I have a 6-star soul for him. I just have to pull the champion now, so hopefully that happens, right? Well, I'm going to end the video there. Oh, wow, that ended up being a much longer video than I'd expected, so apologies for that, guys. I'll keep my outro short then, so thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the support. If you've enjoyed this content, please give me a subscription. It really does help. I'm pushing for 1,000 subscribers, so every single one counts and helps me get towards that goal. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.